Passing the torch is passing knowledge on, leaving a building or a business for a legacy. Or even if you don't have any of those things, put them on with an opportunity. If you know you work for the company and there's a entry-level position, tell your nephew and teach him how to do it. Don't just say, oh, you got to get it. I told you they were hiring. Show the young man. If he doesn't want to listen, that's on him. But don't make the decision for us. We're 28, 27, 29, 26, 32, and we're just getting started on our journey. Meanwhile, my white peers from school, they got handed a company when they were like fresh out of college. They were learning it while they were in high school, in middle school. And they have such a head start. And we're so much more intelligent than a lot of people out here that we're competing with, yet we simply don't have the tools. And again, it's not even always about business. Don't be the only uncle that's rich. Don't be the only auntie that has an 800 credit score. Why are you withholding that information? Why are we going to pay somebody $450 for something that you know? I feel like one of the reasons that people decide not to pass the torch is bitterness. They feel like they had to work so hard, and especially baby boomers. They had to deal with white people down their back, their own families, especially people who want to do technology. If you didn't do something respectable back in their day, phooey, away with you. And I guess because they feel like they had to go through so much strife to get to where they are now, they feel like we have it made if they give it to us and we're not going to know what we're doing. So they got to get it. They got to learn. They got to learn and then we'll give it to them. I guess another one would be just being selfish, honestly. Like I said, sometimes some people want to be the successful person in their family or the elitist, and they don't want to share the spotlight, because if they do, then they're not special anymore. I have my reservations about, their actions, but I am compassionate enough to understand where it's coming from, which is why I'm not bitter about it. It is what it is. Like I said before, they went through a lot of stuff. And when you go through a lot of stuff and you survive, you're not the way you were before the stuff happened. You're more closed off, you're standoffish. And unfortunately for older people, they came from a hush-hush era. You didn't complain because complaining means you were ungrateful. Just talking about it is just taboo because now you're putting your business out there. Oh, you complaining? What's up with that? Take it to the Lord. Take it to the altar. They're very religious. They're very resistant to change. So it's hard to change their mind too. So I guess even when we try to approach them like, hey, what's up with this? We're used to being done this way, and kids don't talk back, and kids don't have opinions. So we don't get slapped in the mouth like they would have, but we still get silenced. We get ignored. But when they're on a deathbed, though, oh, here's what I built for you. Take it on. I'm 40 and I don't know anything about it, but you're going to get mad if I sell it. Now I'm trading on the family. Well, I would say for new parents, like, just arm yourself with knowledge. Even if you work a job, figure out how you can start something that you can leave to your kids. Basically, acquire assets. Assets can be knowledge or they can be physical assets. If you're not really into building a business, you like your career, you're not really trying to do too much different what you're doing, at least arm yourself with knowledge to better your personal finances. Because if a kid sees that you have good personal finances, they're going to inquire, they're going to follow your footsteps. If you don't mind doing a little work, start a business. You can always pass it down to them. Even if they don't like it, they can dissolve it, get the money, and start a business on what they actually want to do. You can purchase property, leave them a house. Just give them something to start. So even if they don't want to do what you did, they have a house to stay in until they get their stuff together. They have a house that they can sell so they can get themselves together. Just give them something. Just arm yourselves with something, or just do what you feel like wasn't done for you, simply put. And I feel like psychologically, black or brown Americans, whatever you want to call them, we just have a piss poor mindset. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I just feel like we are just psychologically ill. We might not have on straight jackets, but we definitely in zombie mode. Like, we're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, it's hard for you to think futuristically. It's hard for you to make decisions that are better for you in the long term. So if you're still right now in 2019 and you are rattled by the fact that there's a new mayor, you're not going to have a job, or you're rattled by the fact that you were making $20 an hour, but now Chipotle workers making 14. If you're still thinking about stuff like that, it's hard for you to think, oh, I need to make this happen so that in 30 years from now, my kids, you're trying to feed your kids next week. A lot of us are still stuck. And then those of us that are in upper echelon, we have that sick mentality too, where we feel like we're better because someone else has told you you're better. So they're safe. So now you're a buffer and you don't want to share, because if you share, now you're not special. now you're not safe. Now you're not seen as better than someone else. So it's just a lot of stuff, but again, it's all psychological. It's all BS. We control the market. They try to say that we're poor, we don't have any money, yet everyone trains themselves to sell to us. Everyone sets up shop in our neighborhoods. We have poor spending habits. We are not poor. So if that's the thing, and they know that they need our money to survive, they don't have a choice but to arm themselves with knowledge so that they don't wash away. We have the luxury of being creative and having buying power, whether we recognize it or not. So we kind of just, you know, just fucking up till we get it right. But other cultures don't have that luxury. It's never too late. We never die. We multiply. It's just that we have to multiply the knowledge as we're multiplying these children too. I guess the takeaway for this would be let it go, man. Let it go. Let your pain go. Let your bitterness go. And let the baton go into someone else's hand. Because guess what? When you die, the information dies if you don't tell anybody. So then we have to start over. And we get it from sources that don't care about us. So they're watering it down so that they can keep it for themselves. I think that people need to rewire their mindset about parenthood. Parenthood has nothing to do with you. You made a conscious decision to guide someone else's journey to the best of your ability. And if you're making selfish decisions, you're wasting your time. You don't even need to have kids. Long gone are the days where you have kids as field hands. Now, these people are wiping your butt when you're old. They're the ones running the businesses when you can't move. So what do you want to do? You want to die with all your money alone and bitter? Or do you want people around you that love you and listen to you talk while they run your business? Do you want to be at Charleston in a old folks home? Or do you want to be in Bermuda asking your grandkid how the stocks are doing? You choose.